Hello, everyone. My name is Miguel Ramirez, and I am another peer advisor in Project Raise. I am currently a fourth year physics major at CSUF, and I transferred in from Fullerton College. In this segment, we are going to analyze and evaluate what studying really means. So, what is studying, you may ask? There are some general misconceptions as to what studying really is. Originally, I thought studying was something you only did leading up to a midterm or a final. However, studying is more of a way for you to stay ahead of the curve, and that's generally by maximizing your comprehension of the material. Effective studying consists of various components, such as rereading and processing recent material, reviewing any material that has been covered in previous lectures, or preparing for something that's scheduled up in future lectures. Setting up time exclusively for any one of these components will help you tremendously when clarifying any ideas or concepts that you are unsure of. And essentially, this makes sure you are keeping pace with the class schedule. As many of you may already know, studying is very essential for your success in your classes. However, it can also help in other ways that you might not have thought of. Effectively studying has definitely helped me tremendously with anxiety. Being familiar with the material helps me stay calm and collected before and during exams. This kind of allows me to think much clearer and avoid those small mistakes that we're far too familiar with. Studying has also increased my confidence. I don't feel intimidated when I'm faced with a new or difficult idea. I see it more as an obstacle that me and my classmates can work towards overcoming. On another note, studying consistently and in an orderly fashion allows you to allocate time for other activities. Scheduling in your favorite, more leisurely hobbies is a perfect way to just de stress from the hectic storm that is studying, classes, or research projects, or any other extracurricular duties that you may have. Forming these effective study habits allows you to better retain and comprehend material uh, without feeling too burned out. Something that I want to highlight and maybe hopefully you remember is this forgetting curve. This is an easy to read visual representation of how forgetful we can really be. As you can see on this x-axis, as time increases, our retention levels tend to decrease exponentially. Even it's possible even after a day that you can lose half of the material that you've covered in lecture. This is just a kind of why uh, consistent and efficient study habits are essential for your success, and kind of just to show you that last minute cramming is not effective at all. Next, I'm going to talk to you about several distinctions between homework and studying. We might think that these two ideas are one and the same. However, they are very distinct from each other. Normally, instructors provide homework in the hope that you can exercise and reinforce ideas and concepts taught in class. However, it is very possible to complete these homework assignments without absorbing any of the material. Unfortunately, I was in this situation in my lower division courses, which in turn made it more difficult in the upper division courses. And that's mainly because those upper division courses are where the instructors like to test you on the comprehension and retention of the material rather than your capabilities of reciting formulas or equations or doing basic arithmetic. At its core, homework was designed to help you in the studying process, but it must be incorporated correctly in order to be effective. Studying, on the other hand, requires you to take extra initiatives by setting specific goals tailored to your strengths and weaknesses. This requires you to kind of analyze and evaluate your standing in the course. This could include reviewing previous assignments, rereading class textbooks, and on occasion external textbooks. I've myself have read external textbooks when the class textbook just was not clicking. Also, you working directly with your instructor. Many instructors are more than happy to help you when you're having difficulty with the material. Going to office hours is perhaps one of the easiest ways for you to get quick help from a person who has mastered the material. There are several forms of studying, but finding the right methods for you is critical for your success. And with that said, this concludes our section of What is Studying?
Hi everyone, my name is Anne Belog. I'm a public health 4-year transfer student and also a peer advisor for Project RACE. In these following slides, I will be discussing the 3 different learning styles and the best way to study according to how you learn. So the first one is for visual learners, which consists of 65% of the population. Visual learners learn best by seeing, so using pictures, visual depictions, displays, charts, and graphs are super helpful. You can usually tell if you're a visual learner if during the lecture you love to take detailed notes, observe professors' facial expressions, and nonverbal cues to help remember the content of the lecture. So first of all, the best way visual learners can study are by using color. Color coding your notes with different pens, highlighters, pencils, by color association in your mind helps with recalling information. Shaping your notes like an outline, incorporating pictures and doodles in your notes, making visual representations such as concept maps and diagrams will also help retain information. The best supplemental way to understand materials are by finding videos online to watch. So kinesthetic learners make up 5% of the population, and they learn best by doing. They learn best through hands-on approaches, such as participating in labs or activities that are related to the class material. To help kinesthetic learners pay attention in class, it's helpful to take notes in a hands-on way. So they usually build diagrams or make charts. The best study tips for kinesthetic learners are, first of all, make learning physical. Rewrite your notes, make flashcards, create a study group, and interact by teaching others, and even walk around while eating will help retain important information. Working on whiteboards and chalkboards is more interactive than writing on a notebook. Building and using models such as this molecular model, which was a great lifesaver for organic chemistry, helps kinesthetic learners understand materials more. Also, it's super important for kinesthetic learners to allow themselves to fidget and incorporate study breaks. So last but not least are the auditory learners, which makes up 30% of the population. They learn best by listening. They actually appreciate listening to lectures and discussions, debates, and study groups are super helpful for them. The best way for auditory learners to study are by, first of all, attending and participating every single lecture, as well as listening to recording of tutorials regularly. Finding study buddies to explain and listen to class materials with are super helpful, as well as using memory devices such as mnemonics, rhymes, and even making jingles help best with retrieving memory. Reading assignments out loud when studying is super effective to improve memory, as well as using auditory repetition like recording class lectures. Thank you so much for listening to this content. Feel free to check out our other videos on study tips we have. These slides will be available through Canvas, and don't forget to log this RTP activity on Canvas. Follow us on Instagram and Facebook at CSUF Project RACE to get more information on our latest workshops. I hope you have a wonderful day.